Hello, everyone. This is Corinne Joy Vota, sports photographer, and today I am talking about Sony's new camera, the A75. I have it. Now, technically, I bought it for my wife, but I used it, and unlike these other reviews where they're just going to sit there and talk to you about the camera and all the features, those are all great. Everyone else is doing them. They're awesome. Go watch those if you want to know about the specific details of this camera. Where I'm coming from with this is, as a professional sports photographer, can I use an A75 for professional sports? And a little bit of background on this of why I asked that, it almost has to do entirely with sensor readout speed. So I have had an A7R5 for a long time, which is technically the same body as this A75, so it feels very familiar in the hand, and it does feel very, very good. I couldn't use that camera for sports because the sensor readout speed was so slow. I would just get this jelloing effect. It just made people look weird, like ultimately weird. The A7 IV also had a very similarly slow readout speed. The readout speed on this is something like 14 or 15 milliseconds. Not as fast as my A1 II, which is like 5 milliseconds or less. And then my A9 III obviously is global, so it's 0. But when I learned that this had a sensor readout speed that was much faster, plus it was the 33 megapixels, I was like, this is a legit camera now. Plus they added pre-capture. Plus they added 30 frames per second or 30 shots per second. All of a sudden, this is competing with like the Canon R1, R3 setup, which is pretty phenomenal. I'm not going to lie. So what I did is I put it to the test. Last night, I went and shot an NHL match. I shot the Anaheim Ducks versus the Calgary Flames. Now, again, someone else is going to give you a tour of this camera, walk you through it. They're going to do great. That's awesome. What I'm going to do is walk you through the photos I actually took. Can this thing keep up with NHL, which admittedly is easily, it might be the fastest sport humans participate in a non-motorized environment. That's also not like a ski slope or a bobsled or something like that. So whatever. But no one runs as fast as people skate. So these people are moving fast, pucks are moving fast, hockey sticks are moving fast. So if this can keep up with that, I would say this is a safe camera to use for any sports. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut over to my editing screen. I'm going to show you the pictures I took, both in their unedited form, and then I'm going to edit them also as part of this video, so you can see a little bit about my process, but then also see the quality of pictures and see if this is what you need it to be. Fast forward, hint, it definitely is. Okay, so let's cut over into the video editing, and then we're going to roll with that. All right, so here we are inside the photos. I'm in Photo Mechanic, and I've already have photos tagged from the match I shot the other night. Now, you're going to find out with me in real time is if it was shot with an A1 II or if it was shot with the A75. I'm just going to finish up the culling here, and then we're going to find out together which was an A75 and which was the A1 II. So I'm just going to go through the ones that weren't keeper. Let's see. These are the ones I didn't tag already, just kind of going through them. No, that's a weird face. Yeah, you're watching me in real time cull photos. We got a puck, and that's not a bad one. I'll tag that one. Going along, where are my keepers? Yep, he's holding them back there. That's interesting-ish. Not great, not great, not great. Yeah, again, I have no idea. Well, we can see right now a lot of these are the A1 II. Yeah, it could be useful. Yeah, this guy's pissed. Love it. Great. We got some nice celebration pics. Great. That's fun, but I can't see it. Oh, there's a puck over there. Can't really see a puck here. Don't know what's going on, but it's cool looking-ish. Oh, then we're going to puck here, and that's out of the shot. Okay. See if there's anything else. I love the guy just sliding his way down the rink. Okay. Yeah, it might be something over there. Okay. Guys chatting. Got a face off. Got Wild Wing. Yep. Scrolling through. Hey, what's up, man? Good to see you too. Okay. So we've now culled those photos, and I'm going to go to just the tag photos. I'm going to take just the tag photos, and I'm going to copy those out. Well, I'll copy them to a new directory. I'm going to move those to a different directory. And I'm going to move them to, we'll call it tagged. Cool. And copy. Okay, so what we're about to find out in real time. So these are all my photos that I shot that I decided to keep from the Ducks game the other night. Again, shot with the A12 and an A75. Right now, I have no idea which ones are which camera. That's a really good sign. So what we're going to do is we're going to find out together which were shot with what. So I'm going to pause here. I'm going to open up Lightroom, and then we're going to sort through them a little bit so you can see them in detail and see a little bit of editing. Okay, here we are in Lightroom. These are the photos that I tagged. I have how many total here? I have 239 photos tagged from this game, the Ducks versus the Calgary Flames, NHL hockey, shot with an A12 and an A75. Let's see how many are from which camera. So let's go into the A12. There's 136 keepers. The A75, there's 103 photos that are keepers from an NHL match with the Sony A75. Damn. All right, well, let's take a look at some of these photos, and then I'm going to do a little bit of my, let's do a little bit of my preset magic on there just to kind of see what it can look like. So there it is. That's the A75. I'm using the I'm Gonna Wreck It preset. It's one of mine. I have other ones too. Yay, look at all these. That's pretty dope. Solid. Red's just a little harsh. Come back here to the calendars, colors. We're going to add that red. We're just going to kind of desaturate that just a touch. There we go. Yeah, so I mean, straight out of camera, the A75 is looking sharp. Let's try Adobe's adaptive color. I don't like that. No, that looks... There you go. A75. All right, but what about action, right? So those are mostly people standing still. Let's get some action shots and see if stuff holds true. There we go. We have skaters in motion. Crop in on that. Got a puck. I got smooth, clean lines. I got good colors. I got good separation. Tell me this is not a sports camera because, let's see, there's someone standing still. We got skating motion. Puck's a little blurry. Not in focus. 2,500 a second. 1,2500 to the second. But that's just not where my focus point was. I think my focus point was probably here on this guy. That's a face. Let's keep going. Looking sharp in motion. Yeah, no, that's clear. That's clean. Always fix the alignment. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you other than A75. I mean, let's compare it to like an A12 photo, right? Let's just grab like an A12 photo. So let's find the camera. Let's go to my A12. Shot in motion. I mean, this one has one's a little bit brighter. At f2.8 ISO 2000. Okay. Let's find a similar shot on the A75. Let's go back to the A75. We're looking for goalie in here. It's I don't know. I'm speechless. The photos look just as good as my A12 does. Does this mean I'm going to switch to the A75? No. Because the A12 does everything the A75 does. So it's just, wow. So y'all, wow. Okay. So y'all, the A75 slaps, I guess, as the kids say. It's really good. It was perfectly usable. And I didn't even use it at its full 30 frames per second burst speed. I think I maxed it out at like 10 or 15 just because I didn't want to just scroll through like a whole bunch of photos. Yeah, the rolling shutter, not an issue. I think 15 milliseconds or whatever it is for the readout speed is sufficient. I didn't really notice any jelloing in any of the shots. The A75 is great. Is great. That's all I can say. I really, really, really like it. Anyways, hopefully this was useful to you. Corinne Joy Vota, sports photographer. Like I said, there's lots of other people giving great reviews of the camera itself and features and bells and whistles. Go watch those. They're great. But I thought you might want to hear from like a real sports photographer at a real NHL event who used it in, real practical settings. Would I use it again? Hell yeah. I probably won't because I have an A93 and I have an A12 and it was my wife's A75 and, there's no need to take 3 bodies, but I absolutely could. So if one of my cameras was getting fixed or just wasn't available for some reason, I would take the A75 in a heartbeat. As a professional sports shooter, the A75 is a professional sports camera. We'll see you on the pitch.